What's going on? It's the brother Jay again, and we got to get there. We got to get there. Now, I guess I can call today's video, unrealistic. Because some things are just unrealistic. Now, check game. The things I'm commenting on is from the video that a black woman was marrying a black man. And they was in front of the pastor and stuff like that. He was saying, "Do you take this woman?" You know what I'm saying? And what she said, "Do you take your husband and stuff like that to love and cherish and obey?" And it brought hit the fucking backpedal shit. You know what I'm saying? You know. And she said, "Well, we ain't discussed this in fucking counseling." Yes, we did discuss this in counseling. Now, here's the key heart of this shit. That's really like, oh, we with this, okay? You went to counseling. That means already that you didn't approach the marriage with the full confidence on your own that you can just go into it and it's all good. No, you went to counseling sessions. So that means prior damage. You know what I'm saying? So you know what? Let me change the title. You know what I'm saying? It's Damaged Goods Part 2. That's what this is. Damaged Goods Part 2. Because this woman went into a fucking church in front of her family, his family, other choir members, stuff like that, because, you know, they had the little song and dance and all like that, you know what I'm saying? The preacher, which is the church itself, and looked at this man, and when that motherfucking preacher said obey, and she looked like all shocked, this weirdo motherfucker had the nerve to fucking smile and laugh like, I knew she wouldn't agree with that shit. Nigga, then why the fuck you marrying her then? That's the part that's baffling about this whole shit. Excuse me. That's the reason why marriage today don't fucking work. Because women don't approach marriage in the same demographic as their mother or their grandmother, you know what I'm saying, approach marriage. You know what I'm saying? Now, here's the crazier part than this. When she said that shit and she said the whole thing like, you saying, you want me to repeat the question or want me to move on? You know what I'm saying? And she said, yeah, I think you need to move on. This buster ass nigga just stood there. He ain't say like, no, fuck that. Repeat the question. You know what I'm saying? Simp niggas. You know what I'm saying? Then they wonder why they get their feelings crushed and their fucking resources depleted and stuff like that. You see red flag after red flag after red flag, and you're still going forward trying to marry this woman after all these red flags? Come on, man. See, look, I'm not unrealistic and understand that, you know what I'm saying? Some things fall through the cracks and stuff like that. Sometimes people make mistakes and stuff like that. But see, the thing I'm saying this issue on is the other ladies coming to the defense of this woman. They're saying shit like, oh, it was just a joke and it was just funny and shit. And nigga, hold up. I mean, hold up. Let me talk to some of these ladies out here for real though. You know what I'm saying? I mean, let me get down to brass. You know what I'm saying? If a man made a joke at your expense in a public place in front of his family, your family, and church members at your expense, he should have the common sense to know this is not the time or the place to tell that joke. So she, who is biologically supposed to be more developed, more evolved as a maturity level than men, You should know better. If you don't, you should have females around in your corner that should tell you, like, baby, that joke is not going to be funny. Do not tell that joke. You know what I'm saying? So if a dude did that at a wedding, nigga, this nigga be mocked for centuries. But because she did it as a woman, oh, well, you gotta understand, she was just joking. Nigga, why do I gotta understand that? Why I gotta understand that shit? I'm saying there's some jokes that just ain't funny. Not at a church, not at a wedding. It's probably your memorable day that you committing yourself to a person for the rest of your life. You're saying, and this person already showing that, when it comes to obey, nigga, I'm not obeying shit. I'm obeying myself. So what's the purpose of you getting married if you ain't trying to, obey certain people's outline? You know what I'm saying? Because if we the dudes that's supposed to be, because you're getting married, to show structure, leadership, provision, protection, all these things, what is your job? No, for real. What is your job? Your job is very easy and simple. You know what I'm saying? That's why, in older cultures long time ago, why it worked and why this shit ain't working now. You know what I'm saying? In the older cultures, women had the coolest job in the world. Now, wait. Let me make sure I say this correctly, because I'm not trying to downplay nobody's feelings here. What I mean by the coolest job in the world, I mean, if this nigga back in the day, had to go out and find ways to get food, you know what I'm saying? Not only get food, but you got to defend the food that you acquired coming home, because you might meet somebody else, that didn't catch nothing, but you caught something, and now you got to fight this dude after you already fought the catcher, this creature or whatever, you know what I'm saying? So the only thing she got to do is, oh shit, you brought back this big old fucking deer and shit. You know what I'm saying? Okay, at least I can do is sit here, and skin it, and treat the meat and all like that, and cook it, and boom. You know what I'm saying? Because the hard part was capturing this motherfucker. You got a creature that's quick as shit, so you know what I'm saying? The most creatures that gives you the protein you need for you and your family are usually quick as shit. The slower the creature, the less the protein. Boom. You know what I'm saying? Now, especially when you're like a man, you got a woman at home and she got 2 kids and stuff like that, you know what I'm saying? That's whole 4 mouths to feed and stuff like that. Every damn day. So you have to catch a quick creature to give the protein to your family that they need, you know what I'm saying? And have the intelligence to say, okay, let's put some shit over here. Let's hang dry some shit over here. Let's smoke some shit over here, so we get the usage as much as possible, even down to the bone. You know what I'm saying? Well, we go boil these bones right here, you know what I'm saying, so we can make a stew out this shit, you know what I'm saying, when we have, you know what I'm saying, barely no meat and stuff like that. So we can add like potatoes and whatever into that fucking stew with the fucking bone marrow to make it last until I catch something else. So you got to look at the philosophy, you know what I'm saying? If you're approaching in the church, stuff like that, you know what I'm saying, and you're saying that you in trying to engage in the matrimony of marriage, but you don't want to say one of the covenants of marriage in the church in front of the preacher, how the fuck are you respecting your wedding vows? The vows you're making to God. Wait, the vows you're making to God. That means you ain't even want to tell God that I will obey this motherfucker. You straight up saying, I want the marriage, but I'm going to do it my way, and you know what I'm saying, and all that shit you saying in the Bible, you know what I'm saying, of traditional marriage, you're saying, no, I'm not obeying that. So why get married? Matter of fact, why is the dude marrying this silly hoe? That's the baffling part to me. So she would have said that shit, nigga, I would have about face and walked off the stage, nigga. and chalk that money, you know what I'm saying, I put into that fucking, the whole wedding shit and put the reservations on the hotels and all like that, and I'll put all that shit, I'll burnt that shit. Fuck that. I see how this shit's going right now, nigga. It's got to get worse. It's got to get worse. She said this shit on camera and post the shit like it was cool. You talking about silly motherfucking shit, man. You know? But the sillier things is women coming to her defense. That's the sillier part. One fucking bride had nerve to say, you know what I'm saying, like, oh, well, you gotta understand that, you know what I'm saying, you don't know what she's been through and whatever trauma and shit like that. And my whole thing is like, hold up. Before we got to the fucking church, we should already had that discussion. Now, apparently, they did have a discussion. That's why they went to the preacher for counseling. So, the man didn't approve probably of whatever trauma that you've been through. When y'all went through counseling and the preacher tried to help y'all through that trauma, then on the day of the wedding, when he said obey, she said, we discussed this in counseling. And he said, yes, we did. Yes, we did. Do you want me to repeat the question? No, I think we should move on. And that buster sat there and didn't say a word. Nigga, please. You know what I'm saying? See, this is ugly things going on today. You know what I'm saying? That's not realistic. You know what I'm saying? First of all, there's no way that I'm approaching a preacher and willing to marry your silly ass without going through the whole landscape of what kind of wife you're going to be, what kind of marriage it's going to be. You know what I'm saying? What's your role going to play in this? I already know my role's going to be in it, but what's your role? You know what I'm saying? Let's be realistic on topics and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? That's why you're saying shit don't work. You know what I'm saying? Because people have unrealistic goals that they see from a person. Not a realistic one, unrealistic, you know what I'm saying? Because even though you might have few people that slide through the cracks that did extraordinary shit, doesn't mean that you as an ordinary person can't do extraordinary shit. That doesn't mean the same. That means that was a low variant of a number of a cat that did that. The vast majority of cats don't do it like that. So they want to take the variant that's least likely and use that as an example point. Like, well, I sit up here and did this fucked up shit and he loved me regardless of that. That's not majority of dudes. That's the few simp niggas that you run across. That's not majority of dudes. You know what I'm saying? So in conclusion, I want to say this. This is an embarrassment to the black culture. This really is, you know what I'm saying? She showed in front of fucking TV, in front of her own family, his family, and the church, that she is so hard-headed that she's not willing to obey her man. So what the fuck is the reason why you step into the marriage? The marriage ain't benefiting the man none. It benefits the lady mostly, you know what I'm saying? Because she get the white wedding, she get the nice dress, and she get, you know what I'm saying, congratulated and stuff like that, you know what I'm saying? Get the big old giant rock ring and shit like that while he got a little fucking washer ring on and shit that's tiny as fuck. You know what I'm saying? The weddings don't benefit men. At all, period. Except for you verbally saying, this is my wife. Other than that, she's super, yeah, girl, it's about time you got married, and yeah, congratulations and shit, and let's go celebrate and shit. Then you got to pay for the fucking honeymoon, which costs you saying significantly, because you know when no woman is going to sit here and say, oh, after the wedding, you just go home and you're married. No, she wants a honeymoon. So you talking about extra dough kicked out, you know what I'm saying, to invite all the family members to be there, you know what I'm saying, and structured everything in its proper context. Then you got to pay for money, you know what I'm saying, for the certificate, you know what I'm saying, and the preacher, you know what I'm saying, to house the event, you know what I'm saying, and have some kind of ceremony, you know what I'm saying. You got your, you know what I'm saying, marriage party, and then you have to have your after marriage party, you know what I'm saying. And then also, you know what I'm saying, you gotta pay for the fucking nugget ring. Then also you gotta pay for the fucking, you know what I'm saying, the honeymoon, the suite, the plans, and all like that. Nigga, all this is costing the man in his pocket. She ain't paying shit. Now, when people forget old school traditions. Old school traditions, when a man married a woman, you know what I'm saying, the father of her family, you know what I'm saying, paid the dowry and paid all these things. In other words, I know you're going to have to pay for some shit later. So the least I can do is pay for all this shit up front right now. Take my daughter and get the fuck on. People keep forgetting that that was the tradition. You know what I'm saying? So either way, still the silly broad ain't paying jack shit for none of this shit. And has the nerve to say, I can't obey you? Nigga, ooh. I was left there on that stand right there, bruh. I was left there right there. Either way, I'm out of here. Deuce.